Hey, I'm Aldyn, and I wanted to discuss 5D and 3D reality and your twin flame journey, or just your ascension journey in general. Because I read a lot of comments about like people saying like, oh, I'm in a 5D relationship with my twin flame, and then I've like asked a question, or like I have a 5D. This is probably my favorite thing that I've ever heard. Like a 5D pregnancy with my twin flame, but no, we are not in contact, and no, I'm not really pregnant. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. So, all right, that's kind of like an extreme example to start off with. But yeah, so like the 5D and the 3D and all the Ds, all the dimensions are not separate, right? And so maybe you are communicating with your twin flame in what some people refer to as the 5D, although then there's other definitions of the 5D where it's just that, once you've kind of ascended to that place, you shouldn't like have to not have stuff in the 3D to be in the 5D. So to truly like master the dimensions means that you're also like, able to be fully here, fully present. And so like you're not, I guess actually what I really mean is like, you're not like feeling something, the vibration of something, but not see it manifest in your reality. So all aspects of your reality are one with the divine, one with God, and then you're able to, manifest anything you want, and or anything that you desire, I guess I should say, like that's like truly divine desire. And you can co-create with God there, right? So like you get to create. And same thing with your twin flame journey. So like maybe you're communicating with your twin flame in inside of your heart, and or just like you feel like you really hear what your twin flame is saying. You really feel the presence of your twin flame. Some people describe other experiences with their twin flame, and there's plenty of accounts of what you could call 5D sex, and it's that's fine, like sure, maybe you're manifesting certain parts of things before others, or maybe a part of it is something that you're actually spinning your wheels on inside of yourself, and it's a pattern instead of actual communication. It could be combination of different things. It could be that you're actually attached to like a false twin flame, and there's something going on there. And so everyone's experience is a little bit different. So I think what's important here is to not compare your experience to someone else's in a way that's kind of like, oh, well, like they experienced this, and this is how it turned out for them, and this is their story, so like, I guess, what I feel isn't real. I mean, what you feel is real, but just like let it lead you, right? Like don't be attached to where it's leading you to. It's just leading you deeper into love. So if you're receiving communication from your twin flame in the 5D, or you have a relationship with your twin flame in the 5D, well, I guess like, everyone does, and but you can cultivate your inner union with your twin flame and harmonize there, and that will attract you into a union in the third dimension. Into the physical reality. Your twin flame and you will be attracted to each other, but you can't control how that looks, or like what takes place in what order. You have to let things unfold, and you have to be open to just like moving through life, and and not be focused on your twin flame. If you're focused on your twin flame, you're kind of missing the whole point of the journey, because the whole point is to be with Source, with God, with, you know, one with the universe. And that's what the 5D is really about, right? And then you could say, oh, well, then there's like 7, 8, 9, 10D. Okay, well, anyway, like, it's all about, yeah, like unconditional love. And it is, if you feel like there's some kind of sexual experience that you're having, something I could say too is that's also, you know, about learning to master unconditional love and, you know, the romantic love that you have for your twin flame. So there's something there for you to master if that's you, but also make sure that, like, this could also be something where you're just like attaching energy to this scenario, or even if it does feel real or it is real, you're still you're not grounding into reality. You're choosing to like stay high, you know, and it can have to do with like Kundalini energy too. So the point is not to get high off your twin flame and to ground that energy and to stay present, but also to not, like, you know, be hard on yourself if you feel like there's something going on where you're opening new levels of communication with your twin flame. That's fine, but the whole point is that your twin flame is you, and so you're just communicating with yourself always, right? And so I thought this was a good subject to talk about because right now the sun just moved into Gemini recently, and it's very much about communication, and to me about twin flames and this like back and forth energy. Hot, and it can be hot and cold when you're really like intensely mirroring each other, or it can feel that way, you know, instead of a nice like warm temperature, like, okay, I'm gonna get in now, this is nice. And so yeah, it can be off-putting, and then that can spin you into just well, why do I feel this way in my heart, and maybe even overly focusing or trying to like draw words out of what your twin flame is communicating with you in your heart, to the extent where, like, you know, you start talking about like what you're eating for dinner with your twin flame in your heart. It doesn't really make sense, right? Like, what's the point of that? Like, so I would just like question what kinds of communications you're giving and receiving to your divine counterpart if they are not there with you. And also, people experience this who are in union and in harmonious union. I guess, like, you could call it twin flame telepathy, but it's just, it doesn't need to like look like really woo-woo and weird, right? I mean, it's not weird that we communicate in lots of different ways. I mean, look at the ways that like whales communicate, or lots of different animals too, right? And so there's a lot of nuances to communication. So it's also about that, and exploring, you know, all of those nuances are fine. But what you really want is, you want the most straightforward, practical, like, you want to keep going in your life, right? Like, you want to communicate normally with your twin flame, and it's safe to desire that, and it's safe to take steps, you know, for that to happen. But it's also like, not for you to force, because if your twin flame is mirroring to you by like having you blocked, or by just, you know, saying there, I'm not quite ready to commit, or no, I'm not like good enough for you, okay, like, you know, if you aren't okay with us just sleeping together, then let's call it off. Or, you know, there's like a bunch of different ways that this can play out, and it just depends person to person. But like, and you know, what lessons you're learning and all of that. But yeah, like, you can't be attached to like trying to get your twin flame to tell you that they're your twin flame and that they love you and that they're, you know, they totally feel what you feel. Your twin flame is not a carbon copy of you, and they're not going to experience things just like you. Just think about that. That wouldn't make any sense, especially with one twin flame being the divine masculine and one twin flame being the divine feminine. And just like you are two people, right? Like, yeah, you're one consciousness. And like when you're in harmonious union and you keep on vibing into deeper levels of that and expanding that love, sure, your experience is going to be more and more like a shared experience, and it always is a shared experience. But maybe you look at a painting and you see that it's more purpley, and your twin flame looks at the painting and they swear to God that it's definitely blue. Who's wrong and who's right, right? Like, people see colors differently. Like, you're not having like an identical experience as your twin flame, and that would be really boring. Like, imagine trying to like talk to someone and they're just like saying the same things as you, agreeing with everything you say. Like, there would be no reason for that, like no reason for a conversation. And your twin flame is also an ascension tool for you, and you for him or her as well. And so you're mirroring each other, and you're like, you know, these are places where you're being called to love yourself and to really experience that like 5D, opening into that like 5D energy, so that you can, yeah, ascend, you know, and also like enjoy Earth, like bringing heaven to Earth and the 3D reality too. And also like, you know, different dimensions. It's not like a different place, right? Like, it's all, you're experiencing your experience. You don't need to go somewhere else, like into outer space, to experience a different dimension. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, like, I guess if you were in a place where you could like manifest things very quickly, yes, you could probably travel very, very quickly, right? Like an ascended master, kind of appear to be in multiple places at once and things like that. And so there's a lot of fun metaphysical stuff you can study, but don't get caught up in just getting high off of it and not grounding and staying, like maybe just like staying too much in your upper chakras about it. Or yeah, I mean, kind of just like going batshit crazy, right? Like, you don't want that. So it's important to really like love the physical reality for what it is, like understand the laws of it, I guess is what I mean, and to be obedient to those laws. Like, okay, I'm on Earth, so I have certain needs, you know, these needs aren't gonna go away, and these include taking care of your physical body too, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, like, it's safe to invest energy into all of these needs and desires in your 3D reality too. And you probably most likely do desire wealth, right? It's not just a 5D like big heart crystal in your consciousness, you know, and you just can just like fly into there with your little fairy wings and live in the little heart. I mean, you want like a nice actual place to live. You want you know, whatever it is that, like, the fine things in life for you, and that looks different for me than it does for you, and that's why there's a huge variety of things that you can have in life, and so many people's life purposes are devoted to creating a lot of really beautiful, wonderful, useful things. So yeah, it's safe to fully admit that you desire a completely harmonized 3D relationship, or I guess you could say union, with your twin flame, and that's not going to hurt you to fully admit that and to work towards it. So I really invite you to just fully choose that. And even if you're, you know, in a space where you are with your twin flame, go deeper into that choice, and keep expanding in that choice, and you can really feel the peace there. Like, yeah, I desire to bring heaven to earth, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do whatever it takes, which really essentially means doing the inner work and then taking action that's guided. And this all follows the law of attraction too, right? Like, you do attract into your reality, like where you're vibing, and also like your thoughts. So as you change your thoughts and you truly are putting that energy out there and investing it back into yourself, you know, you're giving and receiving, and this is you committing, right? Like, you're committing to love. You're saying, yeah, I believe and I commit to the power of love. And that's an extremely powerful vibration to put out there, and to you know, also put into yourself. And this will help you expand in peace, and it will help you attract abundance, and also your twin flame union too. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I hope that you liked it. And you can definitely share. Please like it if you liked it, and you know, leave any comments you want to below. And I've got links if you're interested in working with me, and readings and other resources. And I will see you again soon for another interesting twin flame topic. Take care. Bye.